Bye. All right, I'm just going to find Shivaji on my screen. There we go. Awesome. You should be pinned. So I'm going to let you take it away. We do have Hugh has also joined as well. So once we're done here in the next 15 minutes, we'll move into Hugh, and then there should be some time. But again, please use the chat for any questions as we go, and I'll keep an eye on that.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks Generation for this opportunity. For those who don't know me, I'm Shivaji from Mr. and Mrs. Cloud. So we specialize in cloud computing, machine learning, data science, and DevOps. We are also working on an AI-based platform for building digital brain. If it is successful, then every one of you will know, else the journey continues. I'm here to share some 3 very important lessons that I have learned, and I've learned it in a hard way after speaking to so many technology leaders and other things. I would recommend you take those 3 important points in writing so that it will be helpful for you. Else, if you're recording it, that's fine. Okay. So the first one is, please try to be cloud vendor agnostic professional. Okay, cloud vendor agnostic professional, which means like never ever tag yourself to a particular cloud vendor, because cloud is not hardware, cloud is not software, or cloud is not some kind of technology. Some people say cloud is technology, but cloud is not technology. It is a model, which means set of instructions, set of characteristics. Like suppose if Shivaji is a billionaire, if I can say like Shivaji cloud technologies or something else, I can also build it if I follow those characteristics. So what does it mean, Shivaji, for us? Which means that this kind of mindset will help you to build an unbiased solutions. Suppose, let's say I'm from Azure background, I would build only applications which are related to Azure. Whatever problem I have, I'll fit into Azure. Why? Because I know only Azure. But the moment you try to have an unbiased, when you're not biased to a particular cloud vendor, please make a note of this one. This everyone uses now. Okay, that is known as cloud hybrid applications or multi-cloud applications. This is what is happening now in industry. I spoke to many technology leaders, which means like suppose I'm a businessman. Okay, company. I'm investing suppose $100 million this year. I want to move anywhere I need. January, February, March, I like AWS because they're giving more discount. Then June, July, August, September, I'll move to GCP because they're giving more discounts. Okay. Or next December, something else, I'll move to Azure, maybe back again. Or any cloud. Or I want to get rid of all clouds. I want to move to on-premises. I should be able to move. So only unbiased thinking can help you to build applications in certain way so that you can move anywhere you need. You see what I meant to say? Anywhere you need. Okay, that is what like we have a lot of things like service mesh and STO. When you have time, go and explore that. Okay, that is very important thing, that first important thing that I would say. And second important thing is always work on your strengths. Always work on your strengths. So what it will help is, instead of you wasting time on your weaknesses, find out your strengths and do it. Now you tell me, Shivaji, I'll give you $10,000. Okay, can you tell me what are my strengths? No one on this earth can tell you. Okay, so there is a process. I would say this is a tool. I would say, okay, what I would do is, first, after you finish your graduation in Generation, try to get into any company. Doesn't matter, just get into any company in cloud space. It can be anything. Now, let's say you have joined a company now, and from now onwards, 3 months to 6 months time, right? Try to get relaxed, try to know the environment, make good friends. I think I've met some of you people, and I asked you how to do. I think you have a good course like on peer connection. What is peer mentoring or something, right? Yeah, same like that. Try to make good friends. And when it becomes like, let's say in 6 months' time, you're very comfortable in what you're doing, please do this. Take a white paper, okay? Write plan, design, build, test, deploy. That is the SDLC cycle. Okay. Let's assume that like you're doing it for yourself. Don't go to any mentors or don't pay any money for that. It's about you. Let's say you're planning to build your career in build phase of SDLC. Why? Because some of your friends are making like 200K or 300K a month. So you are jealous, you want to build on build stage of SDLC. Now, think about it. Let's say when you open up a 1,000 line of code, you opened up a 1,000 line of code. What do you feel? What do you feel means don't question your heart. Heart cannot think, okay? It's just a pumping machine. With your brain, you think, do you really like it, or it's something creepy and you feel like a yuck kind of feeling, or it excites you to find some bugs or enhance it or do something else, right? If it excites you, which means you must be in build phase of SDLC. Okay, let's assume that is you don't like it at all, right? Now let's think about another one. The next phase, let's say for argument's sake, someone has come up with a problem. Okay, you're not implementing it. Someone has come and said, hey Shivaji, I have this problem, what should be done? So all of a sudden you're trying to visualize it. Oh, okay, a message is coming there, I will have Kafka, I'll capture all the messages, I will send it to transfer my data, I'll put it in data warehouse, then I will project it in some dashboards. So you're visualizing everything, you're able to design everything in mind, and you're very excited about it. It's not about implementation, it's about visualizing things, right? So which means you should be in the design phase of SDLC. Okay, before I eat up much of your time, let's say you love to keep production happy every time. You know what is production, right? Production environment. You want to make sure like any issue comes into production, you want to fix in 5 minutes time. You're more like a superhero kind of. You're saying like, okay, I'll go and fix this issue very fast kind of, right? Or let's say you want to build all the SRE principles and you want to make sure like you're the best of the best kind of, which means you want to be in the operation side of SDLC. So these things, no one would tell it. You need to do it. Suppose once you realize, let's say I like to be in design phase of SDLC, and you're already 6 months in your job, right? You'll have access to all the documentation related to design phase. Study that for 1 month. Don't tell anyone. Study that for one month, and trust me. Then go and talk to your manager or whoever it is. Hey, I think I've got sufficient knowledge on it. You prove it with the different things, like have a presentation. Don't take them for a coffee chat or something else. No one can understand it, right? Go there and have a presentation saying like, okay, this is where I am, these are all things I know, and this is where I can create value. Okay, you getting a job or anyone getting a job is a business case, which means you're presenting a business case to them. Again, you don't need to spend any money about this one. Okay, so that is the second one. Always work on your strengths. Third one is, please reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself, which means like how to reinvent. I'm not a machine, I'm not a software to upgrade. How would I do it? First thing is, um, try to have a mentor. Try to have a mentor who can improve your competencies. Okay, I hope you know, like I've seen a lot of people in industries, they are very, very confident. Confidence is momentary. Please remember, maybe for this half an hour, I can be very, very confident. And maybe some scenarios happen to me, I can be down. I may feel nervous or something else. But competency is no one can take away from you, because it's knowledge. Even at my age of 99, if you ask me to do something else, if it's my competence, I can rock it. Understood? So build your competence, means work on your strengths like anything else. And when I said about mentor, then again, don't think like, oh, I have to hire someone else. You're not a billionaire, right? We are not billionaires. How to get mentors? There are a lot of free mentors. Mentors need not be human beings. Please remember, YouTube has got so many good channel, a lot of good content. Books are good content. So again, when I said mentor, a lot of my students think like, oh, mentor related to technology or what? No, mentor about everything else. Mentor about your happiness, your well-being, your state of mind, right? And technology. And how can you be happy every time? Have you ever seen any billionaire with a frowning face? No. Or any leader with a frowning face? No. They are happy because they got mentors. Anyone, even Warren Buffett will have a mentor. Even Bill Gates will have mentor. Shivaji has a lot of mentors. I'm not a billionaire, but just saying. It will create you a lot of happiness. There are a lot of tools which you can work upon, and you can do this if you work on your strengths. Don't compare yourself with someone else. someone has done something else, so I'm doing this one, you'll not be successful, because your work is going to take most of your time in your life. And if you're struggling there, it will have a cascading effect on everything. It'll have on relationships, it'll have your mental state, you'll have a lot of problems. You're not happy at all. So when you work on strength, you'll feel like, oh, kid in a candy store kind of. When you feel that kind of feeling, that will rock you. It will be amazing. Trust me. How can you say this, Shivaji? Because I was in IT for some time. I was also like crying like a baby every night and sleeping. Oh, tomorrow again, I'll get these money issues. What to do? I don't know. You're not at all happy at all. And even you can't have lunch or dinner with your family members, you're not happy at all. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do when you get vacation even, right? We'll think about work when you go on vacation. So there's no point, right? Be happy, smile, happy, fun, and enjoy the process. If you think something is burden, which means that's not for you. Okay. And worst case, IT is not the only space. You have a lot of sky is the limit. Like what Elon Musk said is he didn't get into a company which is into a technology space, so he started a company. Who knows? You can, instead of being a job seeker, you can be job creator. Who knows? Right? It's amazing. And you're in Australia, land of opportunities. I mean, people say US is land of opportunities. I don't know because I've never been there, but Australia is land of amazing opportunities. You'll not believe what kind of possibilities we have it here. Amazing. I mean, you're in a beautiful place, guys. Okay, you should rock. Okay, getting job is the easiest thing. Work on your strengths. Those are the three things. I don't have a slides or something to present it. Else I'll keep on talking. But one more thing, someone has asked Aaron one question regarding to open source projects and everything else. See, as I said, you are focusing towards in. Is it okay? I can answer that question. Yeah. Okay. See, every cloud, take AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, IBM Software, whatever you take, every cloud has got case studies in all the fields. Okay, suppose on healthcare, on telecommunication, they have case studies and they have an architecture framework center. Okay, let's assume that you are entering into an you want to build something on healthcare. You have a case study, you have an architecture document which has got all the building blocks there, saying like, okay, let's say data is coming in a streaming way. It's more like an IoT device, just for argument's sake. Then it's going to PubSub where it's capturing messages. Then the data is processed, let's say. So you have all the blocks in that, and already you know what to do. Just start building on it. And every cloud has solutions for this, step-by-step instructions. Okay, it's all that is important is you sit in one place and try to work on things. But when you're working on this, as I said in the first point, always think like a cloud vendor agnostic professional. Okay, don't think into one cloud. Wherever I want to do it. I want to go to AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, I should be able to lift and shift it. Okay, there are a lot of technologies. If you want to hear more about that, I can send links later on, but don't be a vendor specific kind of. I think it's 15 minutes or something or more than that.
Thank you. Thank you. Just to clarify for all of you, some of you might be confused. Obviously, this program you're doing is in the Azure certification, so that you will always potentially start with one and know that one as your foundation. But then to Shivaji's point, you know, the more opportunity you'll get will be based on the fact that you know more platforms, you know, that you know more vendors and you're able to apply. And, you know, you've done a lot of work around transferable skills already. So we've looked at what transferable skills you have, whether that's from your life experience or previous roles, and how you bring those strengths to a new career. And it's the same, how will you then leverage, you know, your Azure certifications over time to then help you understand others and make you an even more well-rounded practitioner. So of course, there is a process to everything. You may very well start in these first roles in Azure because that's what you've got certifications in, but that doesn't mean you will always stay in that forever. Given there is so much demand in cloud, you know, as much as you want to open yourself up, and to the point of both of our speakers so far, as much as you want to continue to upskill, to network, to build your practical skills so that you can build your projects and portfolios, the more and more that you do that, the more opportunity you'll have to, you know, become a hybrid practitioner across multiple softwares. just included some links in the chat as Shivaji's been talking, just around some case studies. And also for anybody who might not know what SDLC is, there is a link there too. Does anybody have any questions for Shivaji before we move over to Hugh from PeopleBank? Feel free to call them out or write them in the chat.
Make my life easy. No questions.
No, I just call out before because obviously Alex did ask a question right at the beginning before a lot of you joined, just around the previous Canvas module that you just did before we joined here. I introduced you to a concept called the 70-20-10 learning model. And this is just a way to provide you with a way to kind of break down and structure your time so that you really develop practical experience. So obviously in this course, you have this 10% of the learning done. So what this model basically suggests is that 10% of your experience and knowledge comes from online courses, certifications, formal training. 20% comes from coaching and mentoring and networking. And we know that you're absolutely ticking both of those things off throughout this program, and that 70% of your learning comes from on the job or on the tools practical experience. And so a big portion of what you're doing in your projects is going to be covered under that. But really, the more you get closer to graduation, the more it is important for you to be thinking about how do you continue to build that practical skills. So what we do see is sometimes, sorry, there's just an order at my door. What we do see sometimes is that people graduate and go and sign up for a whole bunch of new courses, which is fine. But really the thing that sets you up with the most success is going to be taking all of those skills and taking all of that knowledge and doing practical things like case studies, like any types of, whether it's freelance projects, free projects, anything like that, to continuously build that practical portfolio out so that you can get those opportunities to start with. So that's what we mean about that. Alex has a question here. When you say be cloud agnostic, how difficult do you find it to ensure your projects are flexible enough to move? Is it more about adding compatibility or just ensuring that you don't go too deep into company specific features?
It's a beautiful thing. So what I meant to say is, let's assume your company is using only Azure. Let's assume, right? So which means you're using different technology, like you're working on containers, Kubernetes, and a few other things under the hood. So when you build something based on certain kind of technology, you can move anywhere else. Okay, and try not to be specific to like suppose lock means you can move a particular portion or a code or an architecture bit to any way that you need. So it's based on technology. That's what I'm saying. And try to explore something like Service Mesh or Istio. It will also help you to understand what exactly I meant to say. Okay, and every company wants to do this. So let's assume that someone has built a whole portfolio, whole landscape on AWS or Google Cloud or Azure, which is because of bad design decision or during the planning phase. But this is what people are doing it now. Everyone wants to be, all the companies, at least in Australia and US I've seen, they want to build applications so that I can be more hybrid in nature. I'll put something in AWS, something in Azure, or something in on-premises. Because sometimes, trust me, moving to cloud is not the right solution. Having those products within on-prem is the best way to go. Okay. So it depends on situation to situation. But if you advise people, you want to build an application which is hybrid in nature, they will love you. Trust me. Yeah. But if you try to use those keywords in your resume, you'll get requests in a different kinds of interview requests.
Okay. And we will look, don't worry about CVs or anything too much now. We will obviously have lots of time towards the end of the program to go through setting up your best CVs, what it's like to answer cloud specific interview questions. So all of that will come up as we get a little bit closer to graduating, once you feel more comfortable with all the skills that you've learned throughout the program. Thank you so much. We will move on to Hugh now. We are running a little bit behind, so we're not going to break up into our pods at all. We'll finish here and take over any other questions that might happen in the last little section of this session. And then you'll be back onto your Canvas to have a bit of reflection. So it gives you an opportunity to just go into the discussion forum, share some thoughts from today and any other questions that you might have, and also jot some stuff down in your employment support workbook too. If you do think of any other questions for our speakers, please make sure you shoot them through in your Slack channel or send them on to your mentor or however you like. Wonderful. Hugh.
Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm just going to pin you so they can all see you.
No worries.
Thank you for sticking around.
Happy to help now. Give me a second. I'm just going to see, I've had a few technology issues. I might not be able to share the presentation I had.
Feel free to flick it through to me if that helps. I don't know. So
I'll send it through afterwards. Look, what I've got to say isn't too complex. It'll just be a short little sort of couple of page summary about what I've said. Really, it'll have my contact details if you do want to sort of connect afterwards on LinkedIn or otherwise. But look, thanks for having me today. I mean, the team at Generation reached out just so that I could give, I suppose, a bit of an update on myself. I am an IT recruiter. I work with a company called PeopleBank. PeopleBank specialise in IT recruitment for a range of clients, anyone from a small or medium-sized business up to big enterprises. We do a lot of work with NAB, Australia Post, and Coles. To bring a bit of, I suppose, perspective on what we're seeing and what I'm seeing is the sort of demand for IT skills in the market at the moment, but also I know everyone in this course is probably pretty anxious, and one of the things hanging over your head is how you sort of make that first step into some of those roles, and it can be quite daunting. So just to talk a little bit about some of the advice there. Now, I had my presentation. Some of the good news is I think there has been over the last year and a half now, I suppose, which is a bit scary to say, but a big shift in how all our clients been thinking about bringing on newer and fresher talent into the IT space. It had been a space that was traditionally, I suppose, quite competitive. Not to say it's not now that they've put aside their standards, but because there's been, bans or pauses put on migration, which is where traditionally a lot of Australia's IT talent and workforce had come from, companies are finally starting to see that they're going to need to invest a lot more in recent IT graduates and help support them. So there's a lot more sort of entry-level roles that we're seeing across our clients, and a greater understanding from them that they are going to need to support you, which I mean is great for anyone sort of studying and coming out of courses like this at the moment, just because it means there's a bit of extra opportunity. The support that are going to be put around you will be better, and there's probably a bit more flexible thinking about what the sort of ideal candidates for these roles are. So I'd say, you're really lucky to be involved in a great program like this that is providing you with some of those skills. And the good news is it is sort of a good time to be in this space, and especially look with these hard to find skills. I mean, cloud engineering, there is a massive sort of shortage of people with this experience in the Australian IT market. I mean, probably globally, really, as it's exploded as companies wanted to take it up faster than people can retrain. So there are going to be great opportunities, especially with Azure. And look, I agree with what Shivaji's saying. You want to keep probably an open mind to whatever technology is, but like Amanda sort of suggested, having that expertise per se in one is probably going to help you get your foot in the door with potential employers, and you're always going to have the opportunity to build out your knowledge and understanding of other, cloud platforms at the start, but other IT concepts as well. And so I think that's really good. Now, I mean, a lot of the time when I'm talking to people that are in these courses and sort of thinking about the role is they want to know, how do they get that first role? And look, I want to be upfront. It is often a difficult and time-consuming process. I don't want to suggest it's easy, because I've been in a similar situation myself, looking for roles, and it's a full-time job in itself. A lot of the time, you do really have to dedicate a lot of energy to it. But there are some things that